everyone. So my name is Shippy Williams. I am your health, wellness, and fitness accountability coach, and I help you with your goal, and I help you reach your goals by holding you accountable for reaching them. Now, today's motivational message is going to be coming from a different area, and I was asked to talk on this. So the question that was asked to me was, how can someone that talks negatively or how can they invite someone to church, right? And so I thought about this and thought about it for a while. I was asked maybe a couple weeks ago to talk about this. So the first thing I wanted to mention is there's Romans 3:23, right? So all have fallen short of the glory of God. All of us have. None of us are perfect. So sometimes we have to realize that if someone is speaking negative to us, they may not even know they have a negative spirit. They might not even know that the things that they are saying are negative to us. So there's a couple of things first. The first thing is you have to remember that we have all sinned. None of us are perfect. Just because that person speaks negatively, let's think about some of the sins that we commit our own self. Some people lie, some people cheat, some people fornicate, some people just think bad thoughts in their mind, right? No one has to hear them, but God knows, and so that's a sin. And so there's so many sins that we speed, right? That's against the law, and we speed. So one thing I do want to say that although this person has a negative talks to you in a negative way or is not very positive, don't take that to heart. So you can talk to the person and say, you know, the things that you're saying to me, I find to be extremely negative. Now, if they get offended, that is on them. That's not on you. The other thing is if they're inviting you to go to church, you don't have to go to church with them. You can just say, no, thanks, I don't want to go. And if you find that the person is consistently asking you to go and you really don't feel like you're led to go or you really don't want to go, right? You just really don't want to go, then just tell the person that. If it hurts their feelings, that's back on them. It's not on you, right? So the other thing I wanted to mention was that in Romans 3:9-16, there's a list of kind of like sins, but the very beginning part of that says, what then? Are we better than they, right? So we have to remember, everybody sins. We're no better than anyone else that does sin. And some of us, with all of our sin, we also invite people to come to our churches, right? Because the church is a place for healing. So you could go to a service with this person, and although they are negative, maybe the day you go to the service, there is a message in the service specifically just for you. Does that mean you have to go back again? You don't have to go back again, but you never know that when you show up, it may be the day that God has a message specifically to give to you, regardless of how you got there, regardless of if that person invited you or not. The other thing to remember is if you're invited to go somewhere and you have a vehicle, drive your own car. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience. So I know that sometimes my husband goes to church with me. I go every Sunday, so I know other people at our church. And sometimes I like to sit around and I will talk to different people after church. But I know when he comes, it's like my talking after service is very limited. So if you do decide to go, you don't even necessarily have to sit with the person. It would probably be nice, but you can go drive your own car so that when you are ready to leave, then you leave. You don't have to worry about, hey, let's go out to eat after. No, you just, hey, thanks for inviting me. I enjoyed the service, and maybe you didn't enjoy the service. I enjoyed the service, and I'm going to go home now. So if they invite you out to eat, you can just say, no, thanks. I don't, I'm okay. Or maybe you've already cooked at home and, they may even try to invite you again. You can just say, no, thanks, if you attend another church or maybe you just say, no, I don't, thank you for inviting me, but I'm okay. I don't want to go again. I don't want to go back again. It's nothing personal against you. It's not nothing personal against church. I just don't want to go. Now, again, if people cannot accept the answers they give to you, that is on them, not on you, and you should not feel bad about it. You're telling them the truth, and that's what people say they want to hear. So that's what I have to say about, about people with different spirits, right? If it's somebody's lying all the time, someone you find out is being negative, right? And sometimes we don't even realize, because we have sinned so much and have deep in this certain sin, that it does not even affect us, right? We're not even convicted by our sin. So we don't even realize that's what we're doing sometimes. And sometimes it may take someone like you to say something to them and even give them examples. And they may not see it as being an example, or they may not see it as being negative, but it is to you. You can always tell them also by telling the truth and saying, you know, if you continue to talk negative to me, then I'm going to have to sever our relationship. Whatever that relationship is. Or you don't have to say anything at all. You can just start slowly stepping back. Maybe not accepting phone calls, not accepting text messages. Maybe replying when you kind of in the mood to reply. You don't have to answer every time that person calls. Let it go to voicemail. You know, maybe they call you today. Maybe you call them back on Thursday, right? Or maybe you text them back on Thursday. Hey, I seen you call. I've been busy. And you being busy can mean different things, right? Sorry, I had to go get my son. So, you see her? So it doesn't really matter. You guys just, you can slowly start to step back from the person. You don't have to always take phone calls. And sometimes it's hard when it's a family member, if it's a sibling, an uncle, an aunt, but you know what? It's all the same. If the person is negative, the person is negative. And if you don't want to have that negative energy around you, start slowly stepping back. You can give them a warning. You can let them know, hey, the way you talk to me is in a negative way, and I don't like it. Give them some examples. If they continue, you can just eventually tell them, I asked you not to talk to me this way because you were being very negative. And if you're not able to change that, then I'm going to have to limit our relationship, the amount of time we spend, or you just cut the whole relationship off. It sounds easy, and sometimes not easy as it sounds, but you know what? Again, we have all fallen short of the glory of God, because we have, look at Jax, because we have all sinned. So I know sometimes we have had patience with people for a long time, but there's nothing to say that you cannot step back from people. There's nothing to say that you have to remain friends with them. There really isn't. So sometimes it does take you have to speak to someone and say it, but just remember, we have all fallen short. We have all sinned, and we all sin on a daily basis. And some of us are still inviting people to our churches, right? Because the church is a place for healing. And it's not about the person that's inviting you, but it is about the message that you will receive for that day. So, to the person that asked me to do this video, I hope this helped you. And so you guys, make sure you join us, right? Make sure you join us for our daily workouts, Monday through Friday. The workouts are less than 30 minutes. You can either see them on my Facebook page as Jivy Williams, or you can also find them on my YouTube channel at LBX Fitness. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you know when I upload the videos. And be on the lookout for our March 30-day challenge. I know what we're doing, and some of you are going to want to get into it, and it's only $5. So be on the lookout for that video. Hope this video helped anyone who feels like they were struggling in that area. All right, everybody. Say bye to Jax. Say bye, Jax. Say bye. Bye, everybody. See you in the next video. Keep pushing.